Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So, this is the first in what will be a series of weekly videos that I am calling Affirmative Living, in which I am going to use the tarot, I-Ching, runes, Bible verses, songs, poetry, whatever I'm, you know, inspired to pull from in order to share with you a spiritual lesson or a sermon. And from that body of knowledge, I will share with you an affirmation that I encourage you to write down in your affirmation journals and practice and keep notes on. And I want to show y'all really quick. I've already done my affirmation journal for today because I wanted to be able to present this information to you. But what I mean to say is I'm going to be doing this right along with you guys. Okay? So, today is Sunday, October 31st. It is the Witch's New Year for those of you who are Wiccan and Pagan. And I was going to do this in January, but I'm really excited to do this now. And I thought, well, the Witch's New Year would be a great time to do this. All right. So for our week one here, I am using the I-Ching. And I have randomly drawn Hexagram 49. This is Hexagram 49 from the I-Ching. Okay? And so this is called revolution. It is called shedding. The theme here is change, transformation, letting go of the old in order to embrace the new. Similar cards and things would be like the Death card in the tarot, or the Tower card, tearing down to rebuild. And so the meaning of this hexagram, I'm reading it directly from my journal entry I wrote. It says, change is good. By recognizing and acknowledging the cyclical nature of life and going with the flow of life, you can enjoy success. There is no longer room in your life for anything which is outdated or does not serve your interests. So basically, this hexagram is all about change, which is awesome because that's what affirmative living is all about, change for the better. And hopefully, if you take this journey with me, we're all going to change our lives for the better. So I'm going to give you two affirmations to write in your journal. The one you can say right now with me. I choose to change my life one step at a time. Today, I take that first step. Repeat it with me, okay? I choose to change my life one step at a time. Today, I take that first step. Okay? So we've just made an agreement that we're going to take this journey together and we're going to change our lives for the better. So now the affirmation I would suggest that you practice every day, every morning when you get up, throughout the day. What I call passive time. For example, when I'm brushing my teeth, when I'm just walking to the house, straightening up, when I'm driving to work. These are times when I'm doing things that, instead of just blasting music or whatever, I can use that time to focus my thoughts, to send my thoughts out into the world. Because what we think, we attract. What we speak, we manifest. Our thoughts are the building blocks of the universe. And we want to create a universe for ourselves that is positive, prosperous, a universe where we are in good health, where we are loved and loving and all that good stuff. So I'm asking you to write this next affirmation in your journal and practice it every day, throughout the day, whenever you can. I attract positive changes and easily welcome them into my life. I attract positive changes and easily welcome them into my life. I attract positive changes and easily welcome them into my life. That is the affirmation I'm asking you to practice this week. Find your own passive time. And don't just use passive time. I want you to intentionally get up in the morning. If you're not a morning person, find that time where your mind is clear. I am a morning person. I know y'all hate me, but I'm a morning person. I wasn't always. One thing I've adopted into my life is when I wake up in the morning, I do have a little bit of a routine, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Where I wake up, I put my feet on the floor, I express gratitude for my life, I take my little pill for my blood pressure, put my glasses on, I get up, go get my shower and get ready for work. That's part of my positive routine. But my day starts with gratitude. And in addition to gratitude, I'm going to write this affirmation down on a little sticky note and put it right there on my little pill box so I can set up my day by instilling this seed thought in my mind that I can grow with my intention and my attention. So now that you've sort of set up your day by repeating this affirmation in the morning or whenever you're clear-headed and ready, let's talk about some practical ways that you can show the universe that you are ready for positive change. So the very first thing I would say is to, first of all, seek opportunities for positive change. Look at your life, look at do you have a tendency to be a negative thinker? Well, that's a good thing you can change. Shake up your thought processes. The other thing I wanted to say is always assume that change is good. I used to be this type of person that whenever change was introduced in my life, I would assume it would make my life worse. And somewhere along the way, I can't pinpoint the exact day, minute, year, whatever, but at some point it shifted, and whenever change was introduced in my life, I assumed that it would make my life better. So I want you to get into that mindset of whenever change is introduced in your life, assume it's going to be for the better. And when the change is introduced in your life to support that assumption, I want you to try to think of at least one way, just one way that change can make your life better. If you can do more, do more. And write it in your journal. Write what the change is. Assume that it's positive. Think of 3 ways how it can have the potential to improve your life. Other ways we can show the universe that we are actively seeking positive change and want to make positive changes in our life. Call your friends list on social media. I have this habit because I am something of a public figure, or people tell me I'm a public figure. I have, this blog, this web channel, my Etsy store, books, all these things I'm doing. My name is out there. And so I tend to accept anyone who sends me a friend's request unless it's obviously some kind of scammer or something, I don't want to find MILFs in my area. That's the furthest thing from my mind. And then once I accept the person, I just give them the opportunity to show me who they are. And many, many, many times I accept a friend's request, never hear from the person, they never comment on anything, nothing. And then occasionally I'll say something and they'll choose to get offended at it, or they'll come at me disagreeing with something I'm saying, and it just turns into very negative. So call your friends list. The other thing is also unsubscribe to these groups that you don't participate in. Use that unsubscribe in your email to unsubscribe from newsletters you don't read and promotions and things that just clog up your life. With that in mind, also straighten up your home. I know this may not sound like a good thing to some people, but when your home is cluttered, it can represent something internal in you. And sometimes straightening things up outside of yourself helps you straighten things up inside yourself. And when your home is free of clutter and dust and stuff, energy flows more freely and you're in a safe and comfortable environment. So The last thing I wanted to point out is for those of you watching this who are into, I don't want to say into, who are Christian or who are the followers that practice hoodoo and southern folk magic, I wanted to give you, if you're uncomfortable with the I-Ching, I want to share with you a biblical passage that is relevant to this, and it's Luke chapter 5, verse 36 through 39. And this is where Jesus talks of the parable of the wineskins. And he begins by saying, no one tears a piece from a new garment and sews it on an old garment. Otherwise, not only will one tear the new garment, but the piece from the new will not match the old garment. So what that means to me is, before you can invite new things into your life, you have to make space by letting go of the negative things, the bad things. So that is the theme here, with death and transformation, the tower tearing down to rebuild, and then attracting all that good and positive stuff into your life with your affirmations. Anyway, this has been week 1 of Affirmative Living. Our hexagram is the 49th hexagram, meaning revolution, change, and transformation. Write these things down in your journal. Write your affirmation. Keep notes. And I'll see you guys next week with our next affirmation. And I may do a follow-up on this just to show you how things are going in my life. And I encourage you to use the comment section to let me know how things are going in your life as well. Have a great week, everyone.